Well, because normally we hear music, and I didn't hear anything. Good morning, Patriot fam. What is up? This is a beautiful MAGA Monday. Hopefully everybody's out of their turkey coma.
No, because we're all eating leftovers all weekend, which
I
is
think
why
we all had pork this Thanksgiving, considering all things that are going on in the United States. And I find that to be quite hilarious. So here we are.
Make ham great again? Is that
Yes.
Maha? The other Maha. Oh, gosh, guys. Well, I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday with your family, with your friends, with your loved ones. I think it's important to remember that there are those who were not able to be with their family, obviously those that are serving overseas in the military, a lot of first responders who choose to take the shifts over the holidays. Thank you for what you do. And obviously we have 2 National Guardsmen in D.C., one that went home to be with the Lord and the other that's still fighting for his life. So
keep them in your prayers, please, as we continue on this day. Thank you so much to our Spotify audience and our YouTube audience and everywhere that you guys are watching, Rumble, X, Facebook.
We're still on YouTube.
All the places.
We're still on
Thank
YouTube,
you. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe, and follow. We appreciate it. And hop into our comments, guys. We would love to hear from you. What did you eat for Thanksgiving? Was it turkey? Was it ham? Was it ribeye?
I just realized all that smack I talked about, mac and cheese, and I didn't have it. I know. So I made a box of it the next day, and I was like, wow.
Talking about making, I should have made mac and cheese. I didn't know you were not going to make mac and cheese. Or I'd have made mac and cheese and brought it over.
I had my sister's broccoli and cheese.
I my black card.
You're what? I had my sister's broccoli and cheese, and that solved the cheese.
Solved the cheese
thing.
Okay, I get it. I get it.
Cheesy. Guys, we've got a lot in store for us today. We're going to talk about executive orders. Tampon Tim there in Minnesota, he's forever going to. Even our pastor called him that on Sunday.
Listen,
because when you put tampons in the men's bathroom, you have an issue.
You're
Mr.
delusional.
Tim Walz, you're delusional.
Something's wrong with you.
We'll talk about where all these Afghans came from in our country now that we're working in coordination with the CIA.
Ooh, I know.
Guess which administration brought them in? Guess.
The Biden administration.
The Biden administration. But then we're really going to get into it in the second half of this talking a lot about the color revolutions that we've been screaming from the mountaintops, along with General Michael Flynn, part of that digital army that's.
Guys, I think we've been talking about a color revolution since 2020.
Lord.
We're like 5 years in, and now everyone's hopping on the bandwagon.
But no other main media source
of course
is,
not.
You're
all
your three-letter agencies.
On
they're not
Fox News, color revolution. What? No. Why? Why would you hear it on mainstream media? We still have the Smith Modernization Act currently in place. They're not going to tell you the truth. They're all going to lie to you.
They don't have to tell you the truth. But listen, we're going to change that. And so for all of you that kind of pent up that energy through Thanksgiving, that you couldn't talk about these things around your families, unless you're like me, you've said it, and now that's why your family's shrunk, then welcome. Now we're back to being open and unapologetic and free speech platform. Thank you so much, guys, for buckling in. Lock it down. Let's open the mic.
Taking back our freedom, back to where we started. We're wearing our red hat tonight. It takes more than just a feeling. Oh, better be believing, and America's gonna be home.
What do you do when they try to cancel you? MAGA Nation, we cancel proof. My red hat stays on. My red hat stays on. You know I love God, but in Trump I trust. November 5th, he gon' ride with us. Our red hat stays on. Our red hat stays on. It's the mayor of MAGAville, the RNC King. 2024, freedom gon' ring. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. I'm still fighting for each one of you. And keep your red hat on.
What do you do when they come for you? Freedom's what you gotta lose. Red hat stays on. Red hat stays on. What do you do?
You know, if you don't want to sing that song for the rest of the day, something's probably wrong with you. I'm sorry. Was that random?
We're just going to go there. We're just going to go, something's wrong with you if you don't like, sing our song. I agree.
Oh, gosh. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're not already,
I can't. I'm sorry.
Make sure that you follow us at Real Ally Leger, at Michelle Posey, and at Open Mic Ladies.
On all social media platforms.
Wow. Okay. Look at me sitting back and being all calm and cool, because I don't have to control everything.
Hey, let's go.
All right, guys, you know why we are always so loud and proud and obnoxious about...
It's not just because we're Latina, so don't go
well,
there.
it might have a little bit to do with that.
It's
But
got a lot to do with it, actually.
it's because we always talk about, Allie, why are we not codifying Donald Trump's executive orders into law?
Oh, we have like 150 of them. Like, what is taking Congress so long? Oh, I know. They want to go after each other instead of going after Democrats. That's what's happening.
There are bigger fish to fry right now. We can go ahead and hold each other accountable. Behind the scenes, can we outwardly make sure that we're doing what we need to do to make sure that we don't go back to 4 years ago, the Biden administration? So here's what I'm talking about.
All I want for Christmas is arrests.
Is what?
Arrests.
Arrest, clink, clink, perp walks?
That's it. That's all I want for
Perp walks.
Christmas.
Do you remember what our pastor
I think I'm gonna make a
said?
song. It's gonna be like the Mariah Carey version of like All I Want for Christmas, but we're gonna talk about arrests and like
Can we get people in jumpsuits?
raids and warrants.
Bree, can we
served.
AI that? Can we AI that? Can we get-
Somebody will.
Okay, let's do it. Let's work
do
on
it.
it. We'll work on it. Biden's executive orders. This is why, okay? Because he was a shyster, did all these awful executive orders. Trump has now come out and said, because this is what happens when they're only executive orders and they're not codified into law. He's come out and said he declared any document signed by Joe Biden's auto pen, which includes 92% of documents bearing Biden's signature, are hereby
Null in void.
adios, terminated.
Terminated.
This includes executive orders and could also include commissions for DEI judges. You
Absolutely.
know, those judges that were hired based to be able to legislate from the bench, among other things. This is exciting. It undoes all of the horrible policies from the Biden administration. But what I want to know beyond this is what is the punishment for using an auto pen in the highest ranking office in our land? I can't use an auto pen to sign for a mortgage.
Right. I think that's a Chris Ann Hall question. I'm sure she is somewhere talked about this. I'm going to have to go look and find it. But because she is one of the only practicing true constitutional attorneys
Yeah.
that actually understands the Constitution, not case law, right? She understands case law as well because she was a lawyer, but
Right.
she does operate how the judicial system is supposed to operate when it comes to our Constitution. It's not, does case law prove this? It's, does this actually align with our Constitution? And so I'm pretty sure she has some thoughts on this.
But can you imagine?
There is constitutionally sound reason for President Trump to say that these auto pen signatures have been terminated.
You know who I can't wait for? Anthony Fauci. Are you serious? You're not free from being held accountable under this. And I think we shouldn't even wait for the federal government. I think our states, our governors, and our attorney generals and our surgeon generals in each state should go through and look at what COVID, the rollout of COVID, the leaking of the virus from the Wuhan lab, and all the treatments, everything from forced vaccinations, everything. Yeah. We should look at the total of everything that your state has suffered from. And you should go after Anthony Fauci. I want to see convictions times 50 in every state.
It needs to be every state, 1,000%. And I think that's the
Come
whole
on,
point,
Ronnie
right?
D.
Like, let's go. Let's do it.
Let's
James
do it.
Uthmeyer, because Ronnie D doesn't have a say. It's James Uthmeyer.
But he gives the nudge.
No, but
and
he's
then
the
others
Attorney
will-
General. Like, let's just stay in our proper lanes. Like, let's.
Ron DeSantis hands them
yes.
legislation
I know.
in Tallahassee.
I know.
There's 3 separate branches of government. What
I
I'm
know.
saying is I know who really gives the wink and nod.
That's good.
But James Uthmeyer is the heavy lift.
And
I
he
get it.
should.
He's the heavy lift.
He should get on it. I'm excited. I can't wait because I think it'll happen. I really do.
Well, we wait. We're not going to hold our breath, but we want to make sure you guys are reaching out to your congressional House of Representatives and Senate leaders to let them know we want to make sure that they codify Trump's executive orders into law. We're not just happy with his executive orders. We want to see that put into law. Okay, Allie. Elon Musk is making a comeback, apparently, a little bit.
The bromance is back on. What? We are so back.
We are so back.
We are so back.
It's kind of like when somebody's jealous of your relationship, so they come in and they try to like spread rumors about each other, and then you're like, you get all, you know what?
I'm not even gonna go there because I was gonna go there, and I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. But yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then
I don't have enough water.
and then all of a sudden you're like, you finally reconnect somewhere quiet, and you're like, hey, how have you been? How have you been? All those things I heard about, I don't think any of them were true. And so then it's like you see like hearts.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like the Hallmark movie like moment.
Oh God.
And I think they just He's back, and he's talking about, listen, the reason why people wanted him out of the picture, and I'm talking about people even deep within the Trump administration, is because of what he was finding as far as the deep state and
I think so too.
The complete fraud of money and waste.
Well, remember you were talking about there's a moat being built around President Trump where people that have been involved with him and have been able to communicate with him freely are not really able to as much anymore. And I feel like that might have been part of what was going on with Elon Musk. Like you said, when somebody's jealous of a relationship or you get a little too close or you're talking a little too much to the fringe side, right? Because the establishment likes to call our side the fringe side. But we're not the fringe side. We are the accountability arm
Although we do
of
like
the Republican
to wear
Party.
fringe.
We are the MAGA, America First, is the accountability arm of the Republican Party. We
we're not
want to
going
see
anywhere.
accountability. We're not going anywhere. We are the Trump Party.
Yes.
And the sooner y'all get on board, the easier this train ride is going to go.
Listen,
I'm just saying.
This train can run against you and pull you behind it, or you can get on board. Oot, oot. Okay.
But if you've noticed, there has been a lot of, character assassinations lately going on with just the people that are really staunch MAGA, America First, Trump supporters. So
Absolutely. Take a listen. This is Elon Musk. He laid out how DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, which he started and was put in charge of, how it showed him how the deep state goes about stealing your money to use it to implement policies that aren't even in your favor. Take a listen.
What did DOGE teach you, if you learned one thing?
Well, it was like a very interesting side quest, because I just got to see like a lot of the inner workings of the government. There's been quite a few efficiencies. I mean, some of them are very basic efficiencies, like just adding in requirements for federal payments that any given payment must have an assigned congressional payment code and a comment field with something in it that's more than nothing. Like that trivial seeming change, my guess is probably saves $100 billion or even $200 billion a year.
wow.
Because there were the massive numbers of payments that were going out with no congressional payment code and with nothing in the comment field, which makes auditing the payments impossible. So if you have to say, like, why can the Defense Department, or now the Department of War, why can it not pass an audit? It's because the information is not there. It doesn't have the information necessary to pass an audit does not exist, is the issue. So a bunch of...
I mean, so while it's not rocket science, because you and I know how to budget and account for money spent, apparently it takes a rocket scientist to point out the fraud.
Hold on. Because when we file our taxes and we have a business, we have to make sure that we have receipts to prove that we bought what we bought under the business name and that it makes sense, right?
Right.
But our government doesn't have to. What? Are y'all okay with that? So this is why the Department of not even just, I'm sure it's not even just the Department of War. I'm sure it's the Department of Education. It's all of the department arms that require appropriations and money, right? These comment sections is what he's talking about. There's no reason put in the section to say this is how much this is why we're allocating this amount of money and where it's going.
Allie,
so the audit is impossible to do.
That is 100% true. So if you can imagine that happening on the federal level and what Elon Musk is saying there, imagine
what is going on in your state
and in your county and in your school boards. Whew. I mean, this is why, and I would get told this every time I would ask our school board members, especially about 3 or 4 years ago, 4 years ago when we did not have a majority that was sound mind, I guess.
Right.
Poor Bridget having to do that all by herself. But you would ask simple questions about line items in the budget, and with the audits, and they would say, "Well, the audit is more of it's more of a common practice that we do. We're not really looking necessarily for fraud, waste, and abuse."
And then here comes DOGE, Florida's FAFO, and they're finding all kinds of things. They're what was it, $1.5 billion so far? In waste, fraud, and abuse found in, 65 counties out of the 67 so far?
And this is in a red state, y'all.
Right.
This should make you even more mad. These are supposed to be constitutional conservatives, fiscal conservatives. I think this is what we mean when we say the deep state's on both sides of the aisle.
It is, but it also didn't happen. It didn't occur that way. The sewer didn't get sewagey just overnight in D.C. You know what I'm saying? Like it happened in your own backyard. This is why.
And then it backed up, and that gave a picture. Thank you. I like.
No, you just went there like all the way.
But I'm saying I
was not trying to go all that far, but okay.
Spray some Glade. You'll be fine. I love you. Oh gosh. So let's go right to the restrooms then. Let's talk about the governor who put tampons in the men's bathroom. That's right. Where do you think those were being inserted?
Back mental asylums.
God. Tampon Tim Walz, the Minnesota governor. This is breaking, saying over 400 Minnesota Department of Human Services employees. I'm sorry. Let me read that again. 400
Minnesota.
Department of Human Services employees in Minnesota accuse Governor Tim Walz of ignoring widespread Somali community fraud warnings and retaliating against whistleblowers. Okay, so we came out.
Okay, hold on. Slow down. We're going to slow down for everybody.
Okay,
ready? 400 people at the Department of Human Services
in Minnesota
have come out and said that we have blown the whistle and have told and have given the information to Governor Tim Walz, and he has ignored it about this Somali fraud that is occurring within their state. 400 people.
Minnesota taxpayers, you guys have been funding the terrorist in Somalia, because what's happened, and they've obviously shown the receipts, we've shown this in last week, I think it was Tuesday of last week on our show, that a Somalian community in Minnesota, Elon Omar's district, of all places. I mean, I can't imagine where they learned how to fraud the government, because she's like pro at that. She married her brother to get into the country. But
why is she still sitting on the Foreign Affairs Committee? I have no idea.
Let's handle that, Nancy Mace. Anyway, okay. And there's one less invite to Thanksgiving. But what I think is important.
We're not going to that Christmas party.
Uninvited. You know what? We'll have our own. So our taxpayers in Minnesota, you have been funding the terrorists in Somalia because they've been frauding the Medicaid system there in your state. Now, for a whistleblower to come out, there are whistleblower protections federally, but each state kind of differs a little bit.
Yeah.
You literally are going out over your skis there if you want to become a whistleblower, especially in a blue state where, Tampon Tim resides. Then you're really putting yourself out on line. Can you imagine these whistleblowers who have said, hey, this is going on? And he's like, shh.
But like 400 people, though. Not like it was 2 or 3. 400. That's a lot of people saying, hey, we told you about this. I think he should be removed from office.
I think he should, too.
Time now. We're past.
But let's not forget
right now.
that there was enough derangement, Trump derangement, in our country to decide that he should have been Kamala Harris's running mate.
I cannot. All the fraud going on?
All the people on the Democratic Party that I don't like but probably have better hair than him, that could have been in that second vice president seat, and they chose Tampon Tim because he would have looked the other way to the Muslim extremists. He would have looked the other way to the Islamic extremists.
Yes, Somali. I need more coffee.
And scene.
Yes.
I know exactly what you mean.
Edit! No kidding. We don't edit our show, but that's fine.
That's exactly what would have happened throughout the entire country.
Our whole tech team is lost it. Our tech team has lost
We're here all week.
I broke the tech team. I did. I broke them. Everyone is broken now. Our audience, we have live audience right now. I don't know if y'all can hear them. Look, I slipped up. My bad.
She's so cute. I love her.
We'll just throw salami at everybody. It's pork product.
Keep the extreme Islamists
I mean,
away.
if we're going to go, we might as well just, we're just going to hop right off the cliff. Let's go. Come on.
Both feet.
Keep going.
Let's pivot. Let's pivot a little bit to the now communist socialist Democrat Party of America headquarters, basically there in New York City. New York City is now, we have anti-ICE, we've had anti-ICE rioters, but now they're having trouble even getting in their cars, leaving the facility. This is federal law enforcement, guys. This is the party that brought you the defund the police. Did you think it was going to change once we went nationwide with ICE? No, it's still
Obviously
the same
not.
police. Take a look at this, and then we'll talk about it. Oh, he moved the whole plant.
How is this not impeding an investigation federally? Like, everybody should be arrested and thrown into jail. This is ridiculous.
We can bring it back, Krista. So this is what you're seeing there, you guys, is that's
Yeah, I was
the
gonna say,
Chicago.
explain to our Spotify.
Sorry, Chicago. It's the New York PD. What's left there, because I think a lot of them are moving out. The New York PD collaborating with ICE officials, which is what happens in your state.
Yes.
It's statutory. This is how they're supposed to work together. To help get ICE to be able to remove people from their facility. They might be taking them for deportations, whatever else. The public is largely making that impossible. Now, here in the state of Florida, DeSantis has said if you want to act a fool like that and get in the middle of the intersection, you're going to become roadkill, because we have the right to continue about our day. You don't have the right to impede an intersection like that. But what the interesting thing about this, Allie, is I blame the Democrats. Well, for everything. But I blame them for this. I blame them for what happened to those 2 National Guardsmen,
1,000%.
which we're going to get to in the next segment. But it's their rhetoric about ICE that has made the loony people on the left, I won't say all left, but the loonies that can't think independently for themselves, it's made them feel a certain kind of way about ICE.
They're emboldened.
And so they don't. What happened to us during COVID? It was like, if you won't get the jab and you won't put a mask on, then you deserve to die. Don't even bother going to the
right.
ERs.
Well, and it's been the increase of violence against our ICE agents has been, I think, upwards of 800% now. 800% increase in violence against ICE federal agents. That is quite crazy.
And there was a gentleman that was on. Oh my gosh, Russell Brand was on the news the other night, or on a talk show, and somebody was trying to grill him and say, okay, but what about those that are here illegally, but they're largely peaceful and they're not criminals? He said, here's what I would say to them. If you're here illegally and you're going through getting your documents done or whatever, you're trying to make things right, don't become friends and hang out with those that are here criminally and doing criminal things, because the only people who are not criminal, who are also being detained and deported, are those that they round up in these houses where they're going after the gang members.
Exactly. But if you are in that situation where you're caught up with the wrong crowd, I mean, it just that is
you are the company. What do we say? You lay down with dogs, you get fleas.
Well.
So then that's the thing, and I need everybody to understand. Both Pam Bondi as the Attorney General and Kristi Noem as the Director of our DHS Director, both of them on their websites have links on how you can go through the process of being here legally.
Yeah.
And this is Trump's heart. We're a nation of immigrants.
Of course, we need them.
Legal immigrants. There was a time you had to go through Ellis Island, y'all.
And do all kinds of checks.
And somebody had to show up and verify that you were actually, they knew you were coming to this country, and you were going to
stay with them,
participate X, Y, Z. Like, that's how we started.
But now with, the Biden administration having this open border and just allowing people to come in whenever they wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just insane. This is insane.
Well, so this is what Trump had to say, and he didn't soften his tone for Thanksgiving, as thankful as we all were. Take a look at what he has to say about the Immigration and Nationality Act, Section 212. He said, and he's quoting it here, so quote, whenever the president finds that the entry of any aliens or of any class of aliens into the United States would be detrimental to the interests of the United States, he may, by proclamation, and for such period as he shall deem necessary, that means however the hell long he wants, suspend the entry of all aliens or any class of aliens as immigrants or non-immigrants, or impose on the entry of aliens any restrictions he may deem to be appropriate. Listen, this is our founding documents. Tell me that many people on the left do not know our founding documents, do not understand the Constitution, or what we say about immigration law. I mean, and here's the thing, Allie, I'm sorry. I would really like for people to sit down at a round table. Let's discuss how we're going to fix immigration.
Thank you.
But we can do that.
Because it does need to be handled.
Once those that are here criminally
are out.
Go back.
Goodbye.
Give me a big old eraser. Let's start from scratch. Those that want to come here and go to school, those that and love our country, they're not going to sit there and stomp on the flag outside of the university. They're not going to take money from George Soros to do costume changes from Antifa to Trans-Tifa. If you really want to come here and do the right thing.
Democrat Tifa?
We'd love to have you. We need more people like you, but I don't think. Don't forget, the Supreme Court just said that he has the right.
He can obviously, because it's constitutionally sound. Guys, I don't think that the people on the other side of this don't understand that what we are currently seeing is representative government. We are seeing government that operates solely under constitutionality.
Yeah.
Which is a protection of all of our rights. It lays out proper roles and responsibilities of the roles in which these representatives and all of the elected sit, what they're allowed to do, what they're not allowed to do, what the role of we the people are. That is the entire point of the Constitution. And that is why the left is losing their mind, and that is why the right establishment is losing their mind, because they're like, wait a minute, how? And they're trying to wait President Trump out. And they're not just doing this on a national scale, they're doing it in every state. Especially the red states that are trifecta states, Texas and Florida. They're trying to wait out the MAGA folks. They're trying to wait out those that align with President Trump and wanting to see true, unadulterated accountability for those that have broken constitutional law, period.
Absolutely, Ellie. That was said very, very well. And I want to make sure that before we've got a couple stories before we go to commercial break, because I want you guys to understand. I want our viewers to understand this parole that took place as we remember that botched Afghan withdrawal where 13 service members died because I remember those images of the Afghans on the runway as planes are taking off. And people were trying to hide in the landing gear and they fell to their death. I mean, it was such a botched piece of beep that only Biden could have been the one in charge. So, but in that, you think that was a work of junk?
Considering he walks around and depends.
It depends. Imagine them coming up with a system, the Biden administration coming up with a system that allows those who worked collaboratively with our CIA over there in Afghanistan to be able to come here on what's called a parole. They actually called the program, hold on, Operation Allies Welcome. I want you to take a listen right now. This is Stephen Miller.
Love it.
Take a listen.
It for your audience perfectly, Sean. This was not a loophole. The Biden administration, Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, devised a scheme to fly illegal aliens into the country and then to escort them en masse across the border by the millions and to give them something known as parole, which gives them a work permit, which gives them a social security number, which gives them access to the voting booth. This was the plan all along, to get them here illegally so they can get free government benefits, get hooked to welfare, and be able to participate in American elections. This was an attack on democracy by the Democrat Party. It's the same attack that we see, Sean, when you have California, a sanctuary state, that is refusing to turn over even illegal alien criminals and gang members to ICE. So these are illegal aliens in California who have been arrested by California police, by California law enforcement for serious crimes, for crimes against children, for felonies, for crimes that threaten public safety, and they are refusing to hand these criminal illegal aliens over to ICE. Instead, they're freeing them back into the cities to offend and offend again. By any definition, what California is doing is...
So again, that's more specifically the flood of illegals coming across the southern border. It also included those who the government thought was a good idea to send here and give full reign, including, you heard it there, social security numbers, so they're voting. Well, we were told that the voter rolls were clean, and nobody who wasn't a U.S. citizen was voting.
Clearly not. I mean, didn't they find over... Gosh, I don't even know how many people. They found a bunch of dead people voting.
Well, I was going to say, you either have to be dead and the gray matter doesn't work anymore, or not realize what box you're checking because you're here illegally for the first time and you don't really know because you're not a part of the fabric of studying who these candidates are. It's not just us, and it's not just a conspiracy theory any longer. I want you to take a look at this undercover reporting that was done. Conspiracy theory no more. This is a State Department official who was under Biden. Joe Biden, who was obviously had Barack Obama. That's why we call it Biden.
Ear. That was his earpiece.
So this is his name is Daniel Fitzgerald. He says, I'm just going to read it and then you'll see a little bit of the video. Hardworking Mexicans, this is him quote, stay in Mexico and all the pieces of garbage come to the United States.
Oh.
And the Mexican government has no reason to stop it because their garbage goes to another country and sends money back to them. Wait a minute, I thought they called Trump a racist for saying that they don't send their brightest and best.
Right in my head. Just
It's infuriating. Take a look.
There's got to be some things that you're like, man, I wish I could tell the world about this.
Oh, there's a lot of things, but mostly with immigration. I wish people knew that we're letting in criminals daily.
The big issue for the Hill, for our region, is migration. So we poured a lot of money into Central America. Like how much? $4 billion over 4 years. But now migrants are coming from elsewhere, like Venezuela.
Somos de nacionalidad venezolana. Tenemos vuelo para Nueva York.
Entonces, ¿compraste un vuelo con Spirit?
Sí.
40.
Sí, entramos con la cita de CBP One por el puente fronterizo.
So what is the end goal? Why are they allowing it?
They want to change the demographics of the United States.
So our aid goes to female prisons in Mexico.
Some of them, yeah. To like help train them up.
I'm working with gender issues in Pakistan, so
So I want to read a little bit more of this post. It says they want to change the demographics of the United States. Traditional standard Americans
are not leftists.
Are not leftists. Latin Americans are all leftists. I'm going to correct that. If they come here and are told the only way to keep all of the aid they're on, because most people from Hispanic culture naturally are conservative. Most of them have fled for some kind of communist regime themselves, so they come here and they're like, I'm not going back to that. Look at our wonderful Cuban Americans. They're the most patriotic. So I wouldn't say that Latin Americans are leftists, but they come here and they're taught really to be leftists. It's literally, it's essential to try to change the demographics of the United States. And what happened, Allie? We found out that your tax dollars that go to support the United Nations right here in this country had a mass migration call. This was a part of what the United Nations did. They experimented over in the other hemisphere, saw that it destabilized the region, and they're like, that's how you get America to fall. You destabilize it.
Absolutely. That's what's happening, and we're paying for it with our tax dollars. And so that is why we need to make sure that all of our tax dollars that are going overseas for these stupid pet projects and to the UN that doesn't do anything for America needs to stay with Americans, right? So we can better our country and keep out what is currently going on. We need to right the ship, and we can't right the ship if what is in your line of focus? What is in your scope? If you are looking to your right and to your left and behind you, you're not focused on what's in front of you. What is in front of you? Trying to make America great again. How do we make America great again? We have to get rid of all the garbage. That's what we have to do, because they've figured out. I mean, it's a color revolution, and it has been going on for I don't even know how long, to be honest with you. But
and Allie,
that's just where we're at.
You're absolutely right. We have to make sure that we stay focused and that we stay energized, and we energize the base over and over again. Hopefully, here by just lighting a little bit of a spark in you to realize.
And Republican Party, can we please get it together? Can we please get it together? It is not about how many people you register to vote. It's about making sure that the base comes out to vote.
They're not even registering people to vote here in the state of Florida. It's not the RPOF. It's the DMV. They're going to pull more Republicans? Are you serious? No.
And then where is the effort to go to these immigration portals, these immigration hubs, right? There's one person I know of, and her name is Vanessa Farah.
Thank you,
and
Vanessa.
she works with an organization that teaches citizenship. It's a pathway to citizenship. And she teaches people the Constitution when they get here, because she has a personal story. She's like, when I was here, I got here, I'm a first generation American. I got here, my kids are first generation. And when I came here and to become naturalized, I was told that I needed to vote Democrat because that's just what we did. She goes, and that didn't sit right with me. So I did research and I questioned and I became a conservative because I looked into it.
Yeah.
And now that's what she's doing. The Republican Party does not do this. Well, the Democrats do this well. The Republicans don't.
The Republicans largely do not engage in grassroots, because grassroots is where the MAGA fringe, America First people are that are going to hold both sides accountable. They don't really engage in the youth very well.
No.
They don't engage with the youth very well. I'm telling you, there's been more events that I go to.
We get stiff-armed.
Doors shut in our face.
Like Heisman. And I'm like, but how? Because look around. The Republican Party is going to die off in 10 years. If we don't bring in new...
We pull the age bracket down when we enter the room. Why wouldn't you want us? I don't know.
Your high heels are too high, and they have too much makeup on.
Your neckline's too low. Are you serious? We live in Florida. It's 10 inches from the sun.
Meanwhile, we have 150 executive orders that have not been codified into law in any state or federally. But sure, let's comment about how high my heels are, please.
Because that's them wanting you to look to the left and right and behind you and not staring down the scope. We know what the scope is. We're going to continue to make sure you guys know what it is too. Guys, we have so much more to get to, including covering those wonderful National Guardsmen who we are praying for the gentlemen to still recover, praying for their families. You're not going to want to miss this. If you thought it was hot and spicy during the first half, don't go anywhere. Maybe go get some picante and come right back. A little more open mic after this.
From the heart of Marietta, Georgia, comes a tribute to the spirit of liberty. Liberty Cigars, where history meets craftsmanship. Each cigar tells a story. The Founders Collection honors the visionaries who shaped a nation. The President's House Collection celebrates the leaders who steered it. And the Naval Series salutes the heroes who defended it. Handcrafted with precision, each blend mirrors the essence of its namesake. From the boldness of George Washington to the elegance of Thomas Jefferson. Indulge in a moment of reflection. Light a Liberty cigar and savor the legacy. Discover your story at libertycigars.com because every great nation deserves a great cigar. Liberty Cigars, smoke the history. And don't forget to use promo code OPENMIC for 10% off your order.
Okay, Allie, are you getting something there that's breaking?
Well, I don't know if it's breaking, but this was posted an hour ago by Brianna Morello and on X, and she says, Afghan crime. A group of Afghan men assaulted a female U.S. service member at Fort Bliss back in 2021. Okay? The FBI was the agency designated with investigating the assault. I've reached out to the FBI for several years now, and even under this new leadership, they refuse to give an update on their investigation. Over the weekend, the FBI's media relations team refused to give any details on this investigation. I'm just asking for the information on the suspects, not the victim. So why all the secrecy? And she posts some receipts of her reaching out to the FBI.
It's interesting. Well, and so this is part of that turnover that happens within, when a new administration takes seat, is that I don't know that it's just like a whiteout marker that just goes around and makes sure everything's all squeaky clean and working. We know we still have people inside the intelligence community. It's like a rot behind the drywall that you can't see until, you're like realizing, wait a minute, I've got spores of mold growing somewhere, and then you peel back the drywall.
It's like the worst kind. It's black mold, and then you got like Black Widow spider webs and.
Oh, you had to go to the spider.
I did.
I would
that's
move.
how.
I'd move.
Look, it's a
either I'm burning the house or I'm moving.
What's in the swamp? Right? What?
Swamp creatures.
But exactly, and nobody wants to be around any of that. But what happens if you don't look and you don't pull down the curtain?
That's true.
You got to see what's behind it. You got to put the light to where all the darkness is at in order for it to be disinfected. You got to clean it.
That's true. Allie. There are 2 National Guards members that were shot, obviously, near the White House. We walked these streets quite frequently because everything's within walking distance. Take a look at their pictures here. This is so sad. You've got 20-year-old Sarah Beckstrom there. She succumbed to her injuries, I believe, on Friday. Then you've got just 20 years old. What a baby. Such a baby. 24-year-old Andrew Wolf, who you see there, he is still fighting for his life, according to his family members. Wow. Both of these National Guardsmen sworn in less than 24 hours before they were assaulted. And it gets even worse. Somebody drives all the way across the country from Washington State to carry this out.
Wow.
An Afghan, somebody that was here under that wonderful Operation Allies Welcome. Here's the thing you have to know.
Here's a video.
Oh, is it a video? Okay, I'll go ahead and let Krista, let's play the video. Sorry.
New details in what investigators are calling a targeted attack on National Guard troops just blocks from the White House. Law enforcement officials say the suspect in Wednesday's shooting is Ramanullah Lakanwal, a 29-year-old Afghan national who came to the United States in 2021 and resides in Bellingham, Washington.
He drove his vehicle across country from the state of Washington with the intended target of coming to our nation's capital.
Officials say Lachenwald previously worked for the U.S. government, including the CIA, working as a member of a partner force in Afghanistan. He applied for asylum in 2024 and was granted it in April 2025 under the Trump administration, according to 3 law enforcement sources. FBI Director Kash Patel saying search warrants were carried out overnight at the suspect's home in Washington state.
During that process, we seized numerous electronic devices to include cell phones, laptops, iPads, and other material that is being analyzed as we speak.
The victims have been identified as 20-year-old Sarah Beckstrom and 24-year-old Andrew Wolf, both uniformed members of the West Virginia National Guard.
Their lives, their families' lives are all changed forever because one person decided to do this horrific and evil thing.
The FBI is investigating the shooting as a possible...
You know what I love about ABC affiliates when they report that? They didn't mention that he was brought here under the operation, under the Biden administration. Once they're here, under that parole program through the Biden administration, what they're not reporting is that you have no choice but to grant them asylum.
Well, I wonder how that fares with the new investigation or the new founding about the auto pen. Because if he was not fully aware of what he was doing cognitively, how can what occurred then still stand up in court?
Well, I hope that somebody in the Trump administration is taking a look at that. And that's why we've seen Trump come out so sharp, in how he's going to deal with this. They did catch up with Trump on Air Force One. He had this to say. Take a listen.
You've spoken with Andrew Wolf's family. Can you give us an update on this? I have spoken to both families. Well, I mean, I can give you an update. They're devastated. Does that make sense to you? Of course. They're devastated. Can you give us an update on Andrew Wolf's? Well, as you know, the one is no longer with us, and Andrew is fighting for his life. And his parents are unbelievably great people, highly religious people, and they're praying, and they want everybody to pray for Andrew. And he has a chance to make it, but he is, his mother and father, they were so unbelievable. They were so positive. From West Virginia, great state. I spoke with Sarah's parents, too, and the only thing I can say, they were devastated. They can't even believe it could happen.
We'll bring it back. So this again, I think we can pin this tag on the Democrats as well, because what has been the rhetoric about the National Guard from the left, from those that are in places of power within the left? They have largely said that Trump, they feel, they don't obviously know the 10th Amendment, they feel that Trump is overstepping his bounds by putting National Guardsmen in to clean up these cities. They've demonized Trump, thus demonizing the National Guard. And so you have this loony who drives all the way across the country. But Allie, he worked with the State Department at one time in cooperation with the CIA. I'm sure there's nothing to see here.
Oh, of course not. There's totally nothing to see here with the CIA and FBI. What? Of course not. I mean, they're not even forthcoming with the information that we need when it comes to the pipe bomber. There's
Yes.
She was playing with puppies, so it couldn't possibly be her. I just, this whole thing is just wild. We need to seriously think about what this implicates and how it is affecting what we're currently seeing right now take place in America.
Yeah.
It takes you down this rabbit hole, yes, but at the end of the day, who is in charge of the CIA and the FBI? And when are we going to do something about the radical influence that has occurred?
She just called you out.
Seriously.
She said it.
It's
on our watch now.
At what point do we completely gut these organizations? They have no oversight at all, period. They don't answer to Congress. They answer to themselves or to somebody else. And who is that person?
And who is that person? Who is that person? And, Flynn was all over the place this weekend asking that very question.
And you know what? And it's not even just to say that the Democrats have been talking about ICE and demonizing ICE and comparing ICE to Nazi and the Gestapo. They don't call you that because you're acting that way. They call you that so that they can take you out. That's why. And then you also have former military veterans that have served in our armed forces and in our CIA, right? And in our FBI and our intelligence agencies.
Yeah.
Calling for complete and upended mutiny in our military.
The seditious six, absolutely.
How does this not? You guys are we not putting the puzzle pieces together? Like this is the Rubik's Cube. Are y'all not following?
Absolutely. And in the meantime, and just for the sake of time, I'm not going to show the video, but there was also an Afghan national that was arrested in Texas.
In Texas?
Oh, Doc Pete Chambers was 100% right for making a terrorist threat, claiming he was building a bomb to blow up Fort Worth. And again, he was brought here through the same Operation Allies Welcome. You know, can we just take the welcome mat and throw it in the
We have
garbage?
had people in the state of Florida who have been blowing the whistle about stuff like this, not even just in Florida, but around the nation about these things. They're already here, and they've already looked at how we have handled Antifa and BLM, those riots, right? We're looking at they're taking a play out of the playbook from the Democrat Tifa party. That's just what it is.
And here's the thing that part of what General Flynn was blowing the whistle on over the weekend. He said, listen, these people, how do I want to say this? First of all, Allie and I do not advocate for violence.
No.
Our weapon of choice is the microphone. Okay? Just can't shut us up. But you need to understand that there are factions in this world that only seek to see the demise and the fall of the Western Hemisphere, aka the United States of America. Because we are that shiny beacon on a hill that allows people freedom, and thus freedom to actually find, I believe, our Creator, because we were found on religious liberty. There are people who do not like that. Those people who do not like that believe in a caliphate. They are very extreme. They're an Islamic extreme, and their goal is to come into your country, sit idly for 20 years, and really mask themselves with your culture, with your community, until they're given the sign. And then they activate. And the problem that we have now, Allie, is that since 2021, with that botched Afghan withdrawal under Biden, ever since then, now with this Operation Come On Over, we'll roll out the welcome.
Operation American Open Doors, is that what that is?
Thanks to that, now you've got trained Afghan soldiers. We trained them in this country. And they have said, there's been reports that have said, the search history, the searching of this person's name that carried out this attack on those 2 National Guardsmen, there was an uptick in a search for his name throughout our nation hours before the attacks ever happened, which leads some in the intelligence community to think people knew this was coming, and they were searching it to see if it had been, in fact, if it had been carried out. Now, that's not me. I don't want to believe this. This is Thanksgiving weekend. I'm still kind of in a turkey coma. I don't want to believe any of this. But this is what we're hearing from boots on the ground. And so why do we say this? Because we need for you to understand where this came from. This was a deliberate, you think the open border was a deliberate call to action to bring people in our country? No, it started in 2021. We've got a little clip here that shows the Biden administration talking about this program. Take a listen.
Deemed a security risk of some kind. What reassurances can you make about the screening process and the attempts to make sure that somebody like that doesn't make his or her way here?
I can absolutely assure you that no one is coming into the United States of America who has not been through a thorough screening and background check process.
You're referring to what we termed Operation Allies Welcome, a program that we are very proud of, that we instituted to provide refuge for individuals, many of whom...
Will you be reviewing those they came in on parole? Will you be reviewing them on a case-by-case basis?
We reviewed them on a case-by-case basis, and when those parole periods are subject to renewal, we will do so.
It certainly is. Operation Allies Welcome, which we led in a coordinated effort across the government, is a great source of pride for us to bring to safety in the United States individuals.
Here's my concern. You remember when they were telling parents at school board, that's Mayorkas, obviously. So remember when he was saying that we were terrorists because we were going to school board meetings?
Yeah.
Maybe he should have really been looking at the terrorists.
Right. You know, the ones that they
How
let in.
are you not tracking
under
this person's movement?
Allies Welcome.
You know when I drive by a car wash, because I get 16 messages that say car wash, car wash, car wash, but you can't track this Afghan?
No, because they don't want to.
Lord.
They don't want to. They didn't want to because they knew what they were doing. This is willful ignorance. This is willful breakdown of I don't even know.
Well, here's now U.S. Attorney in D.C.,
So mad, I
former
can't even
judge,
talk.
Judge Jeanine. This is what she said, quote, "You idiots on the left flew in 160,000 unvetted Afghans and third world trash, and now a 20-year-old American hero is dead because of it. Her blood is on your hands, every single one of you open border lunatics. No mercy."
She's not wrong.
She's not wrong. She's saying what probably all of those family members want to be able to say. I love General Flynn had a really great synopsis of talking about it. He's going to tell you what Allie and I have been talking as digital soldiers for a long time here about this color revolution that he's seeing. Take a listen.
My first thing was when I heard about where this guy came from, I was like, oh my God, this isn't a one-off. This isn't a lone wolf. This is an intentional design to start basically an internal physical component of what I call this color revolution. And this is just one among many that I think that we should expect to see.
One among many that we should. Listen, coming into this holiday season, I'm going to tell you to keep your head on a swivel, to keep your children close to you. Don't operate out of fear. Operate under a high sense of
just awareness,
intention and awareness, really, because we have to be in the community of see something, say something. Most people, I still believe in this country, want to live peacefully. We just want to be able to do us, individual of really government intrusion.
Right.
But we have to understand that this is why elections have consequences, because we left a largely incapacitated man in charge of a country, I believe through a fraudulent election, that has now left us in a very fragile state in this country. And listen, I love Kash Patel.
Right.
I love Pam Bondi. I got some issues with her, but I love her. I love Trump. But these people singularly are not going to cover nation from sea to shining sea and do everything. And so it's going to take the American people making sure that we keep our thumb on the pressure of them saying, hey, we want to see something done about this. If I could just real quick let you know, we're not the only ones upset about this. Donald Trump posted this. Take a look. I love when he reshares somebody. He reshared Robert O'Neill's post that says, if you've never been to Afghanistan, you wouldn't understand.
Yeah, this is, I like
this. This is Trump reposting this. He said, if you showed these people an espresso machine and gave them free coffee, they would assume you were a witch and chop your head off. But let's bring him in.
I mean, he's not lying.
Our servicemen and women will say that. Listen.
And there are some terrible stories from these servicemen and women that have seen things and were told not to engage because that's just their culture and that's just what they do.
You talking about the raping and molesting of young boys?
And girls, yes. And did
you run out of goats, is what I'm saying.
They're just like, no, you can't do that. But yeah, sure, let's just have them all in. Let's just bring them all. Who cares? While they assault our military, soldiers and assault our girls and terrorize the community.
The question I always get is, but Michelle, we are a nation of freedom of religion, and it is freedom of religion, not from religion. So if you're allowed to choose how you believe, then shouldn't these people from these parts of the world be allowed in here? Here's two things. Number one, anybody coming into this country should go through the same vetting, at least that I have to go through when I go to visit your country. And when I go to see your country, you're going to tell me I got to cover head to toe because your men can't control themselves.
Right.
So we should at least have some kind of something that you have to go through in order to get here. But second of all, when you come here, we have largely always said you assimilate. I don't expect you to leave your culture and your cooking and your wardrobe at the door. Bring it on in. But you must assimilate because we are we are a country of laws formed under the Constitution. Muslims that practice Sharia law and believe in extreme Islam do not agree with our Constitution. They seek only to change it and to bring that change here from the inside, that we do not cohabitate. We do not coexist. We are not singing Kumbaya together. If you believe in Sharia law and the governing of Sharia law, pack your stuff and go back to a country that will give you that.
I mean, there are 40 of them.
There are literally, take your pick. They've all got great coastlines. You don't need to be in America.
You can go somewhere else.
No.
Because
you're not going to develop these pockets in this country that worship Islam and teach young people to kill and radicalize them. You're not going to do it. We're not going to, Red-blooded Americans are not going to stand for that. I don't mean in a violent way. I mean in a going to the ballot box kind of way. I mean in pushing the Trump administration to still, can we declare CAIR, C-A-I-R, as a terrorist organization? Because they're funding elections coming in 2026. Funding it. Sorry, I'm mad.
No, I mean, you have every right to be upset.
But take a look at this. It's been revealed that Marco Rubio's State Department told diplomats to destroy visas that would have been given to Afghans as of right now. Diplomats were also told to conduct scheduled interviews, but not to give out visas regardless of the interview outcome. So I think we're seeing this policy with Somalia. We're seeing it with Afghanistan. And here's the downside. Because somebody has abused this and been ignorant, now people who probably could have poured into this country in a very good way, are now going to not have that opportunity.
Right, they're going to be they're going to be scrutinized more.
Because when you look at the women
on a fine-tooth comb,
when you look at the women from Iran that came here to seek refugee status in the 1970s, 1960s because of what radical Islam did to the Middle East.
Yeah.
They're now here being very productive members of society. So what? Now we can't take people like that?
And don't want to live where there are massive amounts of them who have not, assimilated to American culture or American way of life. Because they know what that looks like, they know what that breeds, and they're blowing the whistle and just saying that, what we're seeing is we need to keep our eyes open and push back a little bit. And I do think that there are things that are coming out, right? There's investigations and stuff, but we just have to keep our foot to the
If you want to know why there was a person that was hired under Barack Obama's administration and then was a stayover into the first Trump administration.
Right.
But Barack Obama said two things to Trump. Watch out for that guy in Korea, Kim Jong. Yeah.
And don't trust Flynn.
Don't trust General Flynn. Those were the two things that Barack Hussein Obama gave as insight to Trump. You know what Trump did? He said, bring in this Flynn character, because I really want to know what he had to say. Thank God for America's general not flying back into retirement, but standing 10 toes down. He had this to say about the CIA. Take a listen.
He needs to recognize that we must stop the CIA from driving U.S. policy, domestically and foreign. I'm telling you, Steve, that is a massive, massive problem. And I wouldn't say 50%. I would say shut the doors. It is no longer, it's a dead organization because it's an organization that is killing. It operates in the darkness. It is killing us. And so that's my message to President Trump. That's sort of step one for him. I don't care what somebody's handicap is. You take that.
That's the former national security advisor under Donald Trump in the first administration. Obviously, a very decorated general. Shut the doors of the CIA.
Close it down. Make it a museum. Wait, isn't that what somebody said when they were, getting confirmed? I'm going to make it a museum. I'm going to shut it down and make it a museum. Instead, we have this.
Cash money. Let's go. Come on.
But what do I know? I'm just a mom.
In high heels.
With a mic.
Yes. And we'll never go quiet again. Guys, I hope, I'm sorry to be I feel like we're that parent that was like really, really hard on you after a holiday weekend, and you're probably like, oh my God, I'm still on
This
tryptophan.
is too much.
But we had a lot that happened over the couple days.
It's just...
But we can still laugh and have joy because we do believe that we're not in control of it all. Thank God that He is in control of it all. But there is a part for us to play. There's a part for us to play in the praying of intercessory prayer, which we both talk about all the time. There's a part that we play in the keeping our republic free. And that's coming up really quickly in 2026. So don't sleep on us,
We don't have
guys.
much time. Don't have much time. All right, you guys, make sure you are the sharpest tip of the spear in your circle of influence and figure out what you're going to sacrifice for liberty today. We love you guys. Thank you so much for joining Open Mic Ladies today. We'll catch you tomorrow, bright and early, 10 a.m. See you soon. Bye.